Okay, welcome to this week's Street Talk, everyone. I don't know how long this is going to be. It feels like I've got 4 stories here for this week, but really, it was all Webster stuff that was the main thrust of the week, wasn't it? And the other stories, I'm going to say there weren't huge developments in. But what a development that was on Wednesday's episode. And I don't remember a time when we've been so polarising in our thoughts about an episode, because I literally finished watching Wednesday's episode and going, that was absolutely brilliant. I loved that episode. Banging for sure. Surely everybody thinks that. And you're like, I hated it. Didn't like it at all, did you?
Yeah.
But we will delve into more why in just a little bit, and I'm sure you'll be on my side, listeners. Gemma, have you got some clickbait for us? I know you got some clickbait. Jonathan sent some. I have given you the clickbait reading out duties this week. Join in, listeners.
Entertainmentdaily.com. Yes. It makes no sense. 3 huge details that would immediately stop Debbie from going to prison in Coronation Street.
Oh, that's a good one, Entertainment Daily. I love it. It makes no sense. Right. Well, I mean, the most obvious one is she didn't cause the crash. Is that detail number 1?
Literally exactly the wording.
You're right, she didn't cause the crash. I mean, I don't know what more you want from that particularly. And
yeah, that's like the major thing, isn't it? She didn't do any of it.
No.
No, I mean...
and I thought as well, didn't somebody tell us that in Emmerdale, John Sugden has been... I know he's dead now, but doesn't everyone agree, yeah, it was him that caused the crash, it was him that did it?
Honestly, I'm sorry, but they wrote this.
It feels
they
like...
They wrote this way.
They need to explain it, but they're not going to now. Literally, the crash had already happened.
You can't write a story about 2 soaps uniting with a car crash and then have 2 separate people solely responsible for causing it in 2 different soaps.
I suppose if we were to ask somebody about it from Coronation Street, they'd say that Debbie was responsible for driving into the van, which then ultimately led to the fire that caused Billy's death. I get that.
I know in real life...
doesn't feel quite right.
If you plead guilty, they don't really talk about... They don't go into any of it in a court case.
Thanks, you've given us an
easy job. Well, they don't need
here.
to, do they? The point
now.
of doing
Thanks,
a trial is to like work out the facts of the case so they can sort out, whether you did it or not. But if you say, yeah, I did it, they don't bother talking about any of that. They just go what they've done on the show. Unfortunately, it's super unsatisfying as a viewer because there are so many unanswered questions about this.
If only Carl had been the first to crash, I wouldn't be complaining about any of this. It's also the fact that you got the likes of bloody Summer saying, Debbie, it's your fault. She knows that Debbie wasn't the one to cause the crash, right?
Well,
but
I mean, even if it was Carl that did it, it still would have been a series of like terrible things that were exacerbated by you being drunk and...
Yeah, I think the fact that, maybe if she wasn't drunk at the time, obviously we are assuming she was in the driving seat, which she wasn't anyway, but if she wasn't drunk, would it have just been seen as, well, she was just driving normally? Or was the fact that there were bright lights, there was car, there was clearly a crash there. Any reasonable person driving would have been able to stop in time because we know braking distances and times, etc., etc. And I don't know.
I think it was unavoidable.
It must have been. Enough people wound up.
It was bloody Carla running in the road, wasn't it? No, I can't look. What's another reason? There are 3 reasons you've done. She didn't cause the crash.
I get. That's just blinding me, that one. Is there anything related to the fact that Carl would have had evidence that he was the one in the driving seat? Like, did he have a seatbelt mark?
One of them is to do with the seatbelt injury.
Yeah, so whose, Carl's or Debbie's?
Well, either of them.
Yeah, okay. Third one, is it just something to do with the fact that it was Theo that did it, or... Yeah, Theo was the one that plugged him in.
It was
What's the last
another
one?
Piece of evidence that would have not been there.
What?
Fingerprints on the steering wheel.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you could probably say loads from that. And I still do wonder whether in the future something like that's going to come out. Or even, people at the time said if Debbie had been in the driver's seat would have been shunted up a heck of a lot
closer
to the steering wheel than old lanky Carl.
I would really have enjoyed them probably investigating this as a crime and like doing reenactments and having models. And
yeah,
it would have been interesting if you're going to do a police thing. Do a police thing.
Although, I mean, some people do like to be tight up close to the steering wheel, don't they? Whenever I drive, I'm right up close to it, and you have to get in there and push it right back again. But anyway, you're right. It doesn't make sense. But hey, let's just go with it. Eh? What's clickbait number 2?
Coronation Street fans jeer. What the hell is that?
Yeah.
After spotting something very strange on the menu at Roy Cropper's Cafe. From the Daily Mail.
I saw there was an article about this, and I didn't click on it. I've literally got no clue. Is it a traditional British thing that maybe some people wouldn't know what it was? Was it spotted dick?
It's not a common thing at all, I don't think.
Okay. Do you want to describe the dish to me?
It's a style of sandwich.
A style of sandwich?
Well, it's a sandwich filling.
A sandwich filling?
Yes, Michael.
Fish paste. I don't know.
Well, everyone knows they've heard of fish paste, haven't
they? Have I heard of this sandwich filling?
I don't think you have.
Okay, you better tell me then. I
think that this. I've only heard of a kind of slightly different version of this.
Go on.
It's a cheese and celery sandwich.
Cheese and celery sandwich. No, thank you. We don't
we
like
normally
celery
have
around these
cheese
parts.
and onion, don't we? Cheese and onion.
Perfectly normal and delicious.
It's basically the same concept.
Yeah, well, but celery.
No, it's not actually.
Celery does not taste nice.
There you go.
Especially
you can buy it
raw.
at Waitrose and
with Waitrose.
I've never seen it in the shop. I don't know if it's regional.
Okay.
Have you?
No, I don't think so. But then I don't shop for sandwiches in Waitrose. Okay, any more clickbait coming this way?
Yeah.
Okay, what else we got?
I was going down a hole of cheese and celery sandwiches.
If anyone listening is a fan of cheese and celery sandwiches and you'd like to try and sell us on them, please do write in.
You eat more celery than you realise, Michael.
I know you put it in food. You hide it in there to make things healthy.
I do not hide it to make things healthy. That's slander.
But the taste of raw celery is not one I enjoy.
Coronation Street fans left...
Who's this from?
Why'd you have to ask me at the beginning?
Sorry.
I said it at the end.
Okay.
Coronation Street fans left with the same question after Debbie Webster's confession from the Manchester Evening News.
Which confession? Is this the confession of your missed son? Is it that confession?
Yeah.
Yeah? Same question. Who's the daddy?
Oh, no, that's a good question. But
Thank you.
They don't have it.
Random Southampton guy, apparently.
This is more of moaning. This is just as moaning.
Is it just related to the fact that Elaine and Bill were bringing him up, or is it literally about the fact that Debbie's Carl's mum?
No.
Neither of those.
No.
What's Carl gonna do next? Is it something like that?
It's kind of something that it's like I don't look. There's no answer to this question. Really.
Okay, go on then. What is it?
Because it is.
What is
that's
it?
what they've written.
What is it?
Why are they getting rid of Debbie when Sue Devaney is so great?
So it's not even anything to do with the confession.
No.
Well, Coronation Street fans don't need an excuse to say why they're getting rid of Debbie Webster. But okay. Anything else?
Coronation Street viewers make Kevin and Abby demand after beautiful scene from the Liverpool Echo.
Oh, Kevin and Abby reunite?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about this in the predictions this week, didn't we? I think I said no, and did you say yes, get back together?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. I really did enjoy that rooftop scene, actually, but I know it's part of Wednesday's episode. Did you hate that bit of the Wednesday's episode? Or was it mostly the Carl and...
I did explain what I did.
I can't remember.
I thought it just was... Okay, well, we can talk about it when we do the show.
Yeah, but I just was asking, did you enjoy the rooftop bit?
It was okay, yeah. It was
Okay.
all right. But I said to you I didn't like the camera. The film,
yeah.
a different look.
But I mean, at least it
Why
wasn't
did they have
quite so egregious as today's one, flipping Debbie.
No, it's different film. It's different film stock or whatever.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure that's not the right phrase, but I know exactly what you mean with it because that's what I say too.
So why have they got the fancy camera out? So they can throw Coke cans at Brian's head.
Yeah, exactly. We need to see Brian getting bonked on the head by a beer can in full
we might
4K
need this in
HD.
really high res later.
Yeah.
This is one for the history.
That was great. That was a really funny moment right in the middle of that really touching scene. You know, Brian, you know, bless him, they try and... He's in the I'm a comedy character kind of band, isn't he? That doesn't do a hell of a lot else. And generally, I don't find a whole lot of what he says that funny, but throw a can at him and bounce it off his bonds, yeah, I'm there. He didn't even have to open his mouth for that one. Okay, so Let's get cracking with this week's Coronation Street discussion then. Our main story this week is Mama in the Slammer.
Oh.
Not that great a storyline title, but yeah, it'll do. We know
That's
what we're
pretty
talking
good.
about. Well, it combines the fact that we had the mother confession and also getting sent down. We got a bit of the Todd on his Todd. I'm sure we've used that as a storyline before, but he was left on his Todd this week, wasn't he? By Theo. I have many questions and plot holes about the finances, and I'm just, did you learn nothing from COVID? I bet you've only got one toilet roll in the cupboard as well, Todd and Theo. Stock up. Come on.
It's supposed to have 10 litres of water on hand at all points as well, I think.
Is it just...
He did have a lot of water in his fridge.
Is it because they live above a corner shop and they're like, we don't need to store food in our cupboards. The whole of the downstairs is just like one massive pantry
It
to
is
us.
True.
We'll go and get whatever we need when we need it.
I also thought it was funny Summer demanding cereal when she was standing in front of a microwave that had an entire Tupperware full of cornflakes in it.
Yeah, I know. I don't get how... I know different people live in different ways, and if people were to come to our house, you'd say, why do you have three freezers? And why is your fridge packed so much that you can't open it? And if you try and open the freezer in the kitchen, good luck on that. You're going to be standing there for ages, just putting everything back in. And we do have a massive cupboard behind that that's full of our dry goods. But surely nobody lives with just a packet of cornflakes and a tin of hoops, and that's all you've got with nothing backup. What if the king were to come round to tea? What would you do then? You got to be prepared to these things.
Deliveroo it.
What if your dad, who Gemma, you want to find the identity of this week, don't you? Todd's dad, that is. Not we know who Gemma's dad is. Yeah. What if he were to come round and like, hello, I'm your dad. Can I come in for dinner, please? And Todd's like, oh, sorry, all we've got is
water.
hoops. Yeah, I don't get that, but we always do make fun of my sister when we go around her house in London, around her flat.
Fun of her.
No, sorry, we talk about her behind her back.
No, we don't. Why are you being like this?
No. We remark on the fact that
this.
she doesn't really ever have much in her fridge, don't we?
She doesn't have a lot in her freezer either, and I'm just jealous because I would fill it immediately with stuff.
You'd love an empty freezer. Would you like an empty freezer? Would you want a fourth freezer for Valentine's Day?
Yeah, I actually would because the second freezer's full now.
Okay,
so the third freezer.
We are going to be talking about the Todd storyline for what we know and what will happen there second. We would then got a little bit more of the shoujo stuff, bit of a mystery this week with a special box, and then we had more of the burnout malconduct storyline, and still no evidence either way about... I don't think we learned anything new about Mal this week, did we? Whether Alice is real, whether he's evil secretly or not. But yeah, we do know that he can knock up a good ham, egg and chips. I wonder whether for, the Debbie story, because Wednesdays was all about Debbie, and I was saying just this week actually on the predictions episode how much I've enjoyed the single focus episodes. I was not didn't go into Wednesdays expecting this at all, but it was brilliant. And I loved how we didn't have to get all distracted by, let's just cut to see what Todd's doing, just to, give us a bit of breathing room, or, I wonder what's going on with Shona and Jodie. No, it was wall to wall, Webster wonderfulness, and I very much appreciated this. But I don't want to be the person who cannibalises the synopsising on this, Gemma, so maybe we'll do... an episode each or something. Do you want to kick off by doing Monday, and then I will regale you.
Oh, you want me to? You can't trust me with Wednesday.
I can't trust you with Wednesday because then this happened.
I still don't think you really understand why I didn't like Wednesdays.
Well, we'll find out soon. I
haven't listened to
what happened with this storyline on Monday.
Jack. On Monday, Jack is just like an old man. He's like, oh. Walking around his front room like, rolling his eyes, looking at don't you live here? I know that he's a kid. I do know that. But you can pick stuff up yourself.
He's younger than he looks, Gemma.
How old is he?
Jack? Well, he was born in 2010, wasn't he? I think.
So 16?
Yeah.
He's good. Get the chore chart out, Jack. What's wrong with you, you lazy ass? 16-year-old can tidy up.
Totally. It may be older, actually. I can't remember. I don't know. But yeah, that was really funny, wasn't it? He's just coming in and going, but Dad. such
Oh
a
no!
disgrace. Although,
Like you didn't contribute to any of this, Jack. Don't tell me that.
Kevin's fridge was not a million miles away from my sister's, was it? In terms of how much is in there.
I know. Just imagine if Todd like desperately broke into someone's house to steal food because he didn't have any money, and he broke into Kevin's, and he's like, "Great."
But maybe in the same way that for Todd and Theo, the corner shop is their downstairs pantry. For Kevin, and it's just like. It's my annex. It's my ensuite pantry that I've got.
Oh, an ensuite pantry. Oh my god.
You couldn't help yourself if you live. Could you?
Me?
Well, anybody. Maybe Kevin's plan was to move the serving hatch from connecting to Jack's room to connecting to the shop.
Oh,
and
lovely.
He just open up and grab something and grab a tin of beans off of the side.
See, you make fun of me for how much food we have in our house, but most like in different countries, people have pantries and they put food in there. And that would be a normal amount of food to have.
Yes.
It's not my fault we don't have a pantry.
Yeah. Now you're saying pantries, I'm imagining a tree with a load of pairs of underpants on it.
Pantry?
They don't grow on trees, you know.
I hope they're clean.
Of course they're fresh.
Oh, can you imagine?
What a dirty pantry.
Dirty pantry. Right, okay, so this is it's because we've got less to talk about, so we just fill the time
fill it
up.
with nonsense.
Right, so
that was the first scene of the week.
Jack is mad. Debbie grabs Ryan in the hotel and says, "Thank you so much for what you did last week during the raid when Daft Punk came and took our money. It's a shame they haven't got any singles out because they wouldn't have to resort to it. Thank you. I want to leave you in charge of the hotel if I go to prison."
Yes.
Not Carl, because he's crap.
How many, in a real life hotel, I don't know whether we've got any real life hoteliers listening to here, how many members of staff does a hotel generally have? Because it feels like it should have lots. Whereas the Chariot Square seems to be run purely by Debbie, Ryan, who's only just recently rejoined the staff, and Raphael holding fort there. I mean, how on earth?
And the chef, who's nameless.
Yes, chef. And considering this is currently the only hotel in Weatherfield,
busy. Don't forget.
Is there nobody senior? Does she not have a deputy manager? Do hotels not have that?
Don't forget, she doesn't just have a hotel. She's got a hotel chain. She's like the CEO of the group.
She is a
hotel group.
Stuff them if she gets sent to prison. It's Chariot Square. That's the
There's
one.
There's no managerial pyramid of managers.
She drafts an actual manager from one of her lesser hotels.
No, she does it all herself. The whole hotel chain is riding on one woman. That's why she gets awards.
Yeah, that's true. I do like it when it gets a mention that she's in charge of the hotel group, because I think paused one of the newspaper articles this week, didn't we? Oh, wait, what's that? That was
Monday, I think.
Was that Monday or was that Wednesday? I can't remember. Somebody or other was reading about the upcoming sentencing. We paused it and we read the article. And it started off quite well, didn't it? But it just evolved into...
If you've got dementia, go to ITV.com.
It basically was. It started saying, today this week... It was Wednesday, because it was saying, today, we will be... the sentencing of Deborah Webster, who has confessed to the murder of blah blah blah, death by dangerous driving. Yeah, and then it just turns into, if you've got dementia, you can go here and here, and you might look out for signs of this, and it's like, you've run out of news, haven't you?
Yeah, they gave themselves too much space.
Yeah, they did. I mean, just fill it up with a picture.
Yeah, a picture of her in a trolley.
Yeah,
really got home.
Yeah, it's like, here she is, the murderess, drunk in a trolley, being pushed around Freshco's car park.
She definitely did it. She hasn't learned a lesson. So Tim, Sally, Abby, and Tyrone are in the hotel later because they're going to do an intervention on Kevin. So they lead him in, and obviously Jack's been bitching about him behind his back. He surprisingly takes it badly. He says, "It's an ambush. I didn't even want a free meal anyway. You can stick it up your bum."
That's a bush with ham on.
An ambush and a pantry.
Sorry, I'm doing terrible jokes today.
Right, so Debbie's like, "Look, I could be in prison in a few days. You sit down and listen to us." So Tyrone and Sally are like, "I remember when I was struggling and I found it very helpful to share my feelings."
How on earth did they think that Kevin was going to respond to this? Did they literally think he'd be like, oh, you know what? Yeah, I do need to get in touch with
I need to get myself sorted out.
Yeah,
I need to stop being lazy.
He is not the sort of person who's got any time for any of this woo-woo counselling stuff, has he?
No. He's like, yeah, you're right. I do need to get Jack to start tidying up after himself, the lazy, lanky git.
He's a punch first, ask questions later. He just needs to punch himself in the face to sort himself out. Maybe that's what they should have all done. Like, spoken to him in language he understands. Just get Ronnie to come along. Just give him
keep punching him
right
until he tidies up all the...
Like, sort yourself out, Kevin. And he's like, thanks for that. I'm all cured from my depression.
Well, he's not happy. He's not interested in listening to anybody, especially not the junkie he married who went on to cheat with his brother, he tells Abby. Then Carl rocks up and he's like, everyone hates me.
Well, no, it's because he's mad that he's found out that Debbie is leaving the
Kevin
hotel.
Kevin is mad that Carl turns up, and Carl's like, I'm mad too, because I thought I would be in charge of the hotel when Debbie went down, but actually it's Ryan.
Got a lot of anger, that family, haven't they?
I don't know. They do need counselling.
I don't know what's wrong with Debbie. I mean, she's lovely. She's very chill.
That's because she's got something wrong with her brain. So he says to Ryan, Carl says to Ryan, I can't believe that Debbie picked you over me. You can go stuff yourself and everyone can too. And Kevin's like, yeah, everyone go stuff yourself. I'm off as well. So he goes back home and Jack comes in with Abby and Kevin's like, go away. And Jack says, Kevin, I can't be doing with chores. I'm a child. Children can't do work. You ask Victorians, they'll tell you something different. But let me tell you, in this country, children don't do anything.
If I was going to be, if you were a Victorian age, you could clean a chimney. He'd have his feet on the ground, his head poking out of the top, wouldn't he?
Well, he says, I'm going to live with Abby because I don't like chores.
No, he doesn't. He says, I don't like walking on eggshells. And he's not talking about the fact that Kevin hasn't cleaned up from his morning fry-up. It's like he could literally explode at any moment.
Yes, and it's not very healthy.
If I was feeling more kind towards Jack, I would be like, a poor boy.
Yeah, awful. What an awful life he leads. But he could tidy up, I'm just saying. I know that it becomes tiresome when you're doing it all the time, but... I mean... From
personal experience.
16-year-olds, you should have your own family by now.
Yeah, come on,
ask Chesley. Right, so Kevin's like, good, well, you both get out then. I don't need anybody. And then he watches a documentary about nature, which is probably a right bummer, because they all die, normally, don't they? He gets a text from Jack saying, sorry, Dad, I love you. And he's like,
What have I done?
What have I done? Carl goes...
Yeah, the soothing tones of David Attenborough did calm him down somewhat, didn't they?
Yeah, but I don't like nature documentaries. They're just tragic.
We watched that Life in Cold Blood many years ago. That was
I know, but
good.
I don't really like them. I just don't like them. I like to learn about animals, but I don't like watching them get up to stuff.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know why that's weird. It is very weird that I don't
get up to stuff. Are you talking about animal bonking?
No, not that. Just like, oh, here he is. He's making a little nest. Like, you could tell me that he makes a nest. I don't need to watch him doing it.
No, it's cute.
I know, but it isn't always cute. I just find them very boring. I'm like, speed up. Come on. When's he die? He's going to die, isn't he? Or he's going to eat somebody else. That's how animal documentaries go. One of them dies and the other one's happy. Or it's always like, oh, the starving mother and her 2 cubs. One of them's died of leukemia. So, why? Why are we subjecting ourselves to this? It's bad enough it happens. It's like literally, nature documentaries are like watching war documentaries about humans. Aren't they? Like, when was the last time you sat down and went, oh, do you know what? I'd like to know more about what happened in Syria.
Some people do like a good war documentary.
But people don't go...
It's like your dad, he loves the World War II
I know,
film.
but we don't go on about it, do we? We don't go, oh, do you know, I love war... Like, people who like war documentaries keep it on the download a bit, don't they?
No,
or they say they like history.
Okay, maybe.
They don't go, oh, do you know, I really, really love watching about the Holocaust. Everyone goes, that's weird.
It was odd that was Kevin's choice of programme to watch. I wouldn't have thought that he was into that sort of thing, especially as Jack later points out in the week, Kev's got sports channels. And we all know that was definitely sport on this week. That's why we only got 3 episodes of Corrie.
He sat down on Monday to watch the lacrosse and it wasn't on. It's on tomorrow. Right, so anyway... he's sighing to himself because they're boring, aren't they, nature documentaries? And he's like, why am I making myself miserable with this sad cheetah whose cubs are going to die? Yeah. Carl goes over to Debbie's flat and she says, look, I don't want to tie you down to the hotel. And he says, you can trust me. I've been keeping your business running, Why are you backstabbing me now? And she says, like, I just want everybody to stop shouting at each other and falling out. I'm going to jail and I'll be locked up in my own head at a certain point. And it's scary to think about my future. What if I forget who I am when I'm in there?
What's she then sent down for in the end? 2 years and...
2 years and 8 months.
8 months? Oh, that's not
I don't
good.
understand jail maths because it feels like they do a reverse auction on the judge does a reverse auction where it goes 4 years, 4 years, 2 years, 2 years, 8 months, 2 years, 8 months. We're going to reduce it into half, so that's 1 year, 4 months. Ready, go.
It does kind of feel like it's a sticking your finger in the air and going, I think this much, or spin a little wheel, the wheel of justice.
Imagine if they were like, you're our 1,000th prisoner today, so we're going to spin the wheel of justice, and there is a get out of jail free card on this one. Let's see what happens.
Right, Wednesday's episode then. So
she gets 2 years, 8 months, but does that mean that she could get out in 1 year, 4 months?
I'm going to say yes. But we all know that she's
she'll
not
be
going
out.
to be in prison for a
Something's
year
gonna
and 4
happen.
months. Something is going to happen to get her out of there. And surely it can only be that the truth comes out about Carl in some way, right?
But she still should be in trouble for lying.
Yes. But I mean, that can be hand
Time
waved away with
served.
time served.
Served.
Exactly. I mean, I'm wondering whether her being sent away, which is not the way that I particularly wanted this story to go, but is it a way to give lovely Sue a break, a little rest for a little bit? There will be, prison scenes because they always do these days. But it might be why we'll see much less of her on the street. So Wednesday.
So she's doing some pre-prison cleaning, and Ronnie.
I know I'm doing this. I'm doing Wednesday. Remember, why didn't you like Wednesday's episode?
Ronnie can do some cleaning. That's the first thing that annoyed me.
Oh yeah, no. There's just something about the men in the street that I don't know what to do.
Oh, what do you have to do? I tried cleaning and I sprayed myself in the face with Dettol.
Why didn't you like Wednesday's episode, my darling?
I didn't like the way that. First of all, I don't like it when everyone's mad at each other and shouting, and the way that Carl reacted really upset me. And poor Debbie crying, I hated that.
She was magnificent.
And I also didn't like the way that Kevin was like, I've been miserable for literally 2 years now, but you've made me realise I should stop being an arse in one episode.
What would you have preferred?
It was just this happens all the time in Corrie. Isn't it the only thing
that Kevin? I suppose I'm just used to it, but you're right. It's like this bit needs to end now.
Let's sit on the roof. This is the end of this story because you've convinced me that just being a dick to everybody isn't the way to be. But that's his personality. So what is he going to do?
Well, it depends whether he is actually going to keep to his word.
I think that's it. I think he's gone, you know what? I will stop being depressed. This is what I was saying to you. Is this a story about depression? This is why you can't take a lot of stuff that Corrie does as issues seriously all the time. And I'm really sorry to say it, but this, you don't know, you feel like an idiot as a viewer because you're like, am I invested in this? Is this like a really important men's mental health storyline, which it could have been? Or is this just a story where he's just being a dick?
Well, I think it's turned out to definitely be the latter.
I know, but it could have been something else, and then you would have been like, everyone would have been like, "Oh, Gemma, you're the worst person because you didn't take him seriously when he was struggling with suicidal thoughts." And how do you know the difference when you're watching it as a viewer between an issue storyline that's done badly and a storyline that is just a soap? And this is what happened to Swallow fans with the Becky stuff.
Yeah,
how are you supposed to They were talking about coercive control and domestic abuse, and Coronation Street's like, no, she's just back from the dead. Like there's nothing. It's just a funny story. Don't you think it's funny? It's like, we don't know because you keep giving us mixed messages all the time.
I really enjoyed all but one, and I won't say who, but I think you can probably guess, of the performances on Wednesday's episode. I thought they were all very strong.
Let's not go into it. You don't need to go into it because I actually think that there was more than one. But
yes, I know you said that, didn't you? I thought the performances were great. I thought the writing was cracking.
Yeah,
it was Ellen Taylor. It was Ellen, wasn't it, that did this one? As soon as her name came up on the credits, like, oh, brilliant.
But
what are they going to do today?
To be clear, Michael, I didn't think it was badly done. I don't think it was badly done. the episode wasn't poorly put together. It wasn't badly acted. It wasn't badly written. It wasn't badly directed. But you can still have something that's really well done and not like it because you didn't like the content. Like, for example, I thought Schindler's List was a bummer. I didn't enjoy the movie because it was just really sad. Does that make it a bad movie? No, but I hated it.
Right, okay.
Do you see what I mean? Like, the content of Wednesdays was Debbie weeping and crying and making herself sick with misery, and Kevin being a dick, and everyone's like patting him on the head.
I appreciated on Wednesday's
like
episode that it was a real character driven one.
Yeah.
There wasn't, I mean, the main action was Abby throwing that beer can over the edge and bonking Brian on the head with it. Lots of sitting around, talking, reflecting, you know, people rebuilding bridges, then burning down bridges somewhere else, revelations. I wanted to know more about the details about Carl's birth. We kind of got them. Yes, there was a lore dump, and I was all for that. So yeah, I finished Wednesday's episode supremely satisfied. But hey, it doesn't matter. It's nice for us to disagree on it sometimes. It's just a shame because we'd also given Mondays a bobbins, hadn't we?
I also thought it was slightly anticlimactic with the revelation that she was his mum. I don't know why.
What were you hoping for?
I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know what, you know. So sometimes you can just not like something and you really don't know why.
Okay, well let's have a quick rundown and we'll see what happens then. So as you say,
I know I was in the vast minority though. It was like 19% of people thought it was bobbins.
Well, that's not vast minority.
No, but I think there's like going to always be a steady 10% of people who just hate Coronation Street.
They look out for a poll every evening. I'm going to bet bobbins.
Well, people
for
are
that.
spiteful, aren't they?
So Debbie is still in the zone of I need to make preparations for going to prison. What was it that we said that as she get dragged off today? Remember, she was like, I haven't got my makeup. So
you should have been doing that instead of bleaching the toilet.
She's bleaching the toilet. She's sleeping on the floor. She's eating her prison biscuits, but she forgets to take her lippy with her. Anyway, so she's doing that, and Ronnie's just like, no, you need to calm down. Look, this is a really serious day. But she's obviously trying to not think about it by keeping herself busy, I suppose. And she also she wants to be in control of it. She knows she's going to lose control very soon, and even the fact that she's voluntarily incarcerated herself basically is her being in control of the situation, isn't it? Because of this dark secret that she has about Carl.
She's just so driven, she can't ever stop.
No, exactly.
And that's before she, had a diagnosis.
It makes you wonder, how is she going to cope in prison? Because Debbie's a person that always needs to be doing something. She's not one to rest on her laurels and just sit around and relax, is she? She's got to be organising something, right?
Well, she's going to be in there for like 3 weeks and she'll come out with 2 degrees and be the supervisor of the lunchtime.
I mean, in many ways, a prison is like a hotel, isn't it? She's going to be there to the governor saying, right, love. Right. You're getting it all wrong.
Your thread count's buggered.
Yeah. Have you thought about putting a minibar inside all of the cells?
You could really increase your income. This place could make so much cash, let me tell you.
Do you know anything about the Institute? Because I think to hear that they're kind of they're just looking, they'd go anyone these days.
You've also got a very big central area that you could use to hire out for meetings and conferences.
Or just put a massive indoor tree there.
I thought about putting
would love that.
Tree there.
They'd love it.
It's good for well-being.
This is the prison story that I want to say. I want her to come out of there having maybe that's why they let her out early in the end.
Get rid of this woman. No. She is interfering too much. The governor's like, look, she's giving me the suggestion box is put full.
It's making me look bad. And she's like, bring back. Why is it that in American prison things they're all wearing orange, and here we got not allowed, and we've got what?
Do they wear their own clothes?
They do, don't they? They do. Is that?
I don't know. And I can also imagine.
I'm just thinking about orange is the new black. That's what orange is what they wear when they go into American prison, right?
Well, it depends on the place.
Okay.
Like there was I forgot who it was, but there was a very notorious prison person who made all the male inmates wear pink.
Okay. Well, all I'm saying
to humiliate them.
Maybe Debbie's going to try and instigate a orange prison uniform because she does rock that particular.
She'll be like, right, hear me out. What about go back to orange, but with really nice zebra trim. Zebra and orange is a really good combination.
A nice bold blue underneath to contrast with it,
And I when I came in, they didn't give me any earrings. I assume you provide them here.
Well, she just walked into the sale today saying, she said something about, I suppose you don't do room service. It was like, clearly a little joke.
Ha ha ha! Everybody says that. You're going to have a black mark on your door now. Some of them, they do though, don't they? They bring you a little plate of slop.
Yeah, shove it through the
If you're in,
the grate.
What's it called? Solitary confinement. You get everything brought to you.
Anyway, meanwhile, Kev is in a prison of his own making, which is the pigsty that is number 13, and he decides maybe I should do a bit of tidying up, and he pauses for thought when he sees his world greatest dad mug that's there on the sofa, and not the sofa, the kitchen table, and he's like, oh, actually.
No, that's ironic.
Yeah, I was, but not anymore. Definitely was number 1.
Arguably the world's greatest dad.
Better than Bill, lying to the family for the whole of the year. I don't know, watching the classic episodes, I'll never look at Bill the same way again.
I know.
He didn't look like this sort of
thing. He's a fraud and a cheat.
Yeah. So Debbie sees Jack in the shop later, and he tells her what state his dad's in, and she says, look, Kevin's going to get through this, don't worry. Debbie was just lovely. She was so nice to Jack and just trying to reassure him and saying that you got to look after your dad now. You're gonna be here to help. She's the best. She's the best. Over at the garage later, Brian has got what's wrong with his clutch? Something wrong with the clutch. Sticky clutch, wonky clutch, broken clutch. He wants it sorted straight away, but Kevin's like, no, sod off.
Kevin's like, you don't need to drive anywhere, Brian. Stop pretending.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
Where are you going in your car?
And then Brian's like, oh, fine. And then before he knows it, he gets a drip of water in his head, which is not the worst thing that is landing on his head that episode. And that sets Kev off on another rant about the roof.
Which is confusing because that clearly is not... The roof he ended up in is not the top of his garage.
It was just off to the side, wasn't it?
Well, no, I mean, it's double height. How high is the garage? It's not that high, is it?
But I don't think they were. Where they were sitting, as far as I'm concerned, Abby and Kevin, was the factory roof, because that's the same place that Sally and Joni were hiding out.
Tell you what, Carla has such troubles with her roof. Carla's always got troubles with her roof.
Yeah, I know. So, Carl, meanwhile, is reading an article about this imminent sentencing, and this is the one that we were mentioning earlier. And then Nina comes across, and she's like, well, she deserves all she gets. What a titty thing to say.
I
Nina,
know, you keep it in your head.
This is the brother of the prisoner.
He's also a customer.
Come on. I think that her and Lauren went to the same customer service charm school. Exactly. Lauren, seriously, she is really winding me up at the moment with just how surly she is. I get that it's kind of funny, but in what establishment would any sane boss let their hosts speak to the customers the way that Lauren does? Seriously, she needs to get the heave-ho. I'm on Team Maggie here. But anyway, Nina, also very, I know she's mad, but you don't speak to your customers like that.
Well, you don't need to...
Rubbing it in. Come on.
She's not vindictive like this, no.
No, I don't think that she is. That's the thing. Nina isn't. She's very kind of laid back, hey, peace and love kind of girl, isn't she?
It's like your wooden spoon thing. When you first came in, you had wooden spoons that you could put on your table to say if you wanted to have a happy conversation. My wooden spoon,
on the head with
Nina, didn't say, come and judge me, did it?
Anyway, Ronnie comes in and tells him all about the state that Debbie's in. She's clearly terrified, he says. And then he's kind of getting all upset and sad about it. And then he unintentionally guilt trips Carl, because Carl obviously all this time knows my sister is going to prison because of something I did. So he's like, I can't do this anymore. Leave it with me. I'm going to sort something out.
It was Ronnie and Nina, wasn't it, talking about this?
Yeah. So Brian's back at the garage later, and he finds that Kevin is up on the roof chucking rubbish onto the cobbles below. And
why does he care what rubbish is on the roof? It's not making it wet.
Well, no, I thought that he was suggesting maybe that there were some horrible teenagers up there going up there to drink their lager and eat their crisps.
He's
and
just
they're
jealous.
stomping around too much and making a state with it. And there's a lot of litter that has appeared there since, when was it? July,
He's
August?
probably in doing it.
When Sally and Shanice went up there to hide out from Mick, there's, heck of a lot of rubbish that's accumulated since then. But he's saying, oh, this is what my life's come to. It's rubbish, endless, pointless mess. I thought that was a good line. Ronnie, meanwhile, is back in the flat going to see Debbie. Have you got any idea what Carl's on is about? He says he's going to sort this. What's happening? Was Kevin right? Was Carl driving all along? Da, da, da. So Debbie kind of rushes out to sort that one out before Carl makes an idiot of himself. Meanwhile, down at the garage, crowds are accumulating of well-wishers and people just trying to tell Kevin, what are you doing up there?
I'd be there to see if he's going to jump.
Well, this is a
Do
thing.
it.
Was this supposed to be?
Do it.
Was this supposed to be a
Just-
Christine Hardman, I'm going to do
He's
it?
not
Because
gonna. It's gonna break his leg.
it didn't
That's
feel
not
like
it.
it didn't feel like the right height where it would end it all, did it? I know he's a bit of an old man now, but I'm gonna say Kevin would probably have survived that jump, and just ended up kind of in the. Maybe he could have borrowed Tyrone's wheelchair if he hasn't given it back there. But I didn't get completely if it was supposed to be I could jump.
Well,
I
it's
think
more like
he just wanted somewhere to go and hide almost.
yeah, he wasn't up there to do anything sinister.
No, but equally, I don't think he was up there. It wasn't an attention-seeking.
No, he didn't go out there for everyone to look at him. I think also, if you know somebody's a bit mentally fragile, you don't really want them on a roof, even
No.
if that's not their plan. You're like,
Yeah.
this could be very
So
bad.
Sally and Brian and everyone chatting up at him is perfectly. That's what you would do. And he says, "Look, I'm not coming down. I'm just a waste of space. I'm a washed-up failure of a man." And this is when Brian had his line saying, "What? You've got a moderately successful business. What are you talking about?"
He's just like, you haven't fixed my clutch yet, but there's no need to get like this about it.
Do you think Brian and Kevin are probably in the moderately successful business owners club? Aren't
Yeah, they are.
Is that what the Square Dealers has become now?
I would be more mad at myself that I've gone all the way up to the roof and I didn't bring a plastic bin bag. Because that would have been the solution instead of throwing it off bit by bit.
I know, it's satisfying, isn't it?
What,
I
throwing it
reckon.
off?
Yeah, definitely. Tim comes along too.
I'll tell you what's not
Good
satisfying
old
to
Tim.
throw off a roof. Crisp packet.
No, it wouldn't be, would
Just
it?
be like, you
you'd
throw
throw
it,
it'd probably come
you go,
back in your face.
woo, woo,
Oh, I
woo,
think
woo.
it'd get a little gust of wind and it just ends up coming back to you. Lovely Tim, Gemma. Heroic Tim comes to save the day. And I can't remember what it was, but he tells Kevin, he kind of gives him a bit of a, tears a strip off him saying, "Kevin, what are you doing? Get it down here, you idiot." And then Sally tells him, I can't remember, what was it? And he says, Sally's like, "Tim, not like that." And he's like, "Kev, come on, I'll buy you a pint." But no, that didn't work either. He didn't want to go down with her. He does say, "I wonder kind of why I'm even alive," which is maybe a hint towards he was thinking of something. I don't think it was off the table.
Being philosophical.
But that he wasn't literally standing there on the edge, was he?
Well, yeah, I mean, when a mechanic on a roof starts talking about philosophy and the meaning of life, you worry.
So, this is when we have the big revelation. Kevin up on the roof was just a sideshow to the grand old reveal that comes between Carl and Debbie in this next scene. And I thought this was great. So Carl catches Debbie outside the flat and says, "It was me that was driving. Debbie, I did it. I swapped places. I can't let you go down for this." Good on Carl, I suppose. He was all ready to take the fall for this, wasn't he? He wasn't just saying it.
Yeah.
He literally would have done this, and somewhat out of character for him.
That's
But it was
part of the
nice to see
reason
that he
I
had a
didn't-
conscience.
Part of the reason I didn't like this episode, because a lot of people switched how they felt about something very drastically based on like a single thing that happened.
I mean, we spoke last week about Carl versus Theo, and who's got a conscience. And I was very much on the Theo at least does have some kind of bit of a conscience to him, and he does have guilt, which Carl doesn't.
Yeah.
But this proves that
I didn't
even
really
Carl,
buy it.
and Carl is has been in a semi-fragile state since Elaine died a month and a half, however long it was ago, and we have seen snippets of he's got a heart in there, and I suppose he must have been thinking all this time. We don't see him sitting thinking, "Am I doing the right thing?" we just get to see the highlights of his 24 hours of his day, and he's just being an arse. But he must have been considering, should I do this? Should I confess? But yeah, this was it. He's like, I'm going to go down the court. I'm going to tell him it was me. And she's like, I know it was you. I know it was you all along. I've always known. I want to protect you. And he's like, no, why? Why would you want to do that? And then she goes, because you're my son. I loved the delivery of that. And especially, she goes, you're my son. Yeah. Like that little yeah. And it's like, was that in the script? I loved it.
Good old Sue Devaney.
I love when actors just put little
Yeah.
bits in, little extra lines or gasps or something just to add to it. And it really, really helped delivery. That was a fantastic cliffhanger. And I wish it maybe hadn't been spoiled on the soap mag covers that was going to happen. Did you go into Wednesday knowing that the confession was happening?
Nope.
I to be honest, I thought it was going to happen on Friday. So when it came out on Wednesday, when they sat in the car, I was like, oh, this is going to be the moment. But so amazing stuff. Meanwhile, you got Abby turning up at the garage next. She declares, I'm going to go up and see Kevin. I'm going to go and sort him out. And so she goes and sits down next to him. And that was a lovely little husband and ex-wife. Are they divorced now? I can't remember. Scene. And this was, for me, hopefully, the beginning of the Abby redemption that I was really hoping for when we were doing the prayers on the predictions episode this week. I just can't stand not liking Abby. I can't stand looking at Abby and going, oh, you tart, you slag, why do you do this? Why do you leave Kevin? Why you all the things that Kevin's been saying to Abby. Yeah, she has been a real disgrace of a human being in many ways this year. And I hate thinking that about the characters I like. But Abby sitting there having that grown-up conversation, that quite, deep, calm. But no, maybe it wasn't deep. Maybe it was just like the simplicity that he needs, because this is when she's like, oh, I'm going to join you and I'll throw bits off myself, and she throws it and it hits Brian. But it was a really, really lovely conversation, and Sally Carman, I believe, is one of the best actresses on Coronation Street still, and her delivery and all the lines there really helped me buy, as unrealistic as it might have been, like you said, Kevin's quick turnaround here.
Yeah.
I thought it was great, and I'm like, I think I'm back on Team Abby. I think I'm on the Abby train again at the end of this episode, so thank you very much, Ellen Taylor, for making it so easy to reignite my passion for this particular character. So she's kind of sorting Kevin out. Then you got Carl and Debbie back in the flat, and this is the law dump, right? So we weren't sure exactly before today what the nature of this was. We only knew that Carl was born in Germany because he had the little tag that said Mutter on. But she says, well, actually, it was not in Germany that I was I got pregnant. It was in Southampton. She was at
Yay!
She was at college here, and she was wild doing hairdressing training, and then she met a very, what should you say, tall, handsome guy, and the rest is history. So kind of makes you wonder where she was going to college. I think it was very on brand for Southampton, because I don't know what it was like in the 80s, but it does have a bit of a reputation for teen pregnancies. Our good city, doesn't it? It's true.
All right.
It's true. It's better, but Southampton, I think, possibly still is in the top 10 for teen pregnancies in the UK. So yeah, very on brand for the city. But she says, yeah, I got pregnant. I never saw him again after then. My dad, Bill, he was ashamed of me. Elaine was fuming. She wanted me to have an abortion, but Debbie was like, no, I didn't want to do it, but I didn't know how to look after him. So they decided to bring him up. And Carl is just sitting there dumbstruck throughout the whole of this revelation. Does Kevin know? No, we've been keeping that secret. We've been lying to him all this time. Elaine thought that the fewer people who knew about it, the better. I kind of wish now that I knew anything about Elaine, because she was in a handful of Corrie episodes in the 80s, but I don't know whether I've seen them or not. But we kind of building this picture of her of being, I don't know, is it she's a not very nice person, or is it she's just a person who now we're finding had a very, very difficult situation landed on her, and she's reacted in a way that somebody who has got no choice might end up reacting. Like, nobody wants to look after someone else's kid, do they? Especially
some people do.
Well,
Ask Toya.
No, that's true. Especially if, you had all these plans of a lovely new life away. You're not related to them by blood. It's like, what have I landed in here? Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
Do you feel sorry for Elaine in any of this?
Yeah, but she's, I don't know. Yeah, she's not in it. She's dead.
Yeah, I just would have liked to have, before she died, and I know this couldn't have worked, been able to have seen her and heard all of this from her point of view. Because I did go through this conversation really feeling sorry for Carl as we learn more about his upbringing and how Elaine resented Carl for, I guess, stealing 20 years of her life. And this is one of the things that I would say didn't make sense about this, and I can't remember where I saw this, somebody else pointed this online, that when Bill came back into the programme in the mid-90s, Carl would have been 10 or so then, I guess. Yet he was still living with Elaine because Bill had left Elaine, right? So why did Elaine keep this child who she didn't really ever form a proper bond with, she didn't want in the beginning? Why didn't she say,
you have him?
You have him.
Your problem.
He's your kid.
Well, because Bill seems like the sort of bloke you'd be like, oh, I can't do that. I don't even know how to change a nappy.
I don't know. I mean, Bill was a really lovely guy.
Lots of lovely guys are absolutely terrible fathers.
I know, but he doesn't come across as the sort of person who would shirk his adoptive fatherly duties like that. So that's why it does look a little bit bad on him. And I don't know why Elaine didn't just say, sorry, this is your family, this is your mess, you deal with it. So maybe continuity wise there's something a little bit that doesn't work there, but hey, that's the way it is. We suppose we just got to deal with it. But just stop putting in the retcons, Corey. This was the retcon. What did we say it was? A revision, I think.
Oh, I can't remember what he went on about now.
Anyway, so I just love this scene, and Carl throughout the whole of this is struggling to hold it together. And you said you didn't like how he reacted by getting angry earlier, but I still appreciated the fact that he still did show that he had a heart and he wasn't. I don't know. I don't know what I would have expected as a reaction from him necessarily, but he could have got angry straight away. But they did at least show that his whole. I guess this happens. Somebody being brought up, your child being brought up as your sibling, isn't the most unusual, unheard of thing. I mean, it's certainly more common than somebody coming back from the dead after running away to Spain for 7 years.
Yeah, it's a bit more common.
How could your brain cope with that without shutting down and overreacting in some ways? You need so much time
to process this.
Somebody who for the last, how old is he? 30? 40, nearly 40. He thought that Debbie was his sister, and to be told, actually, I'm your mum, and you're thinking, so should I love you? Should I, give you a hug? Am I going to think of you as my mum? Will I ever grow to that? All this time.
Well, if you think about it, also, like his mum's died again. Like Elaine's now died a second time because he never knew her at all, and he suddenly understands what it was that made them so distant from one another. And probably is mad about that too, because things could have been very different.
But would you ever stop thinking of Elaine as your mum?
I've got no idea.
Could you say, well, I don't have to worry about that now. I understand she wasn't my mum. You would still have, he knew his mum for, again, nearly 40 years.
It's not like he thought he was adopted.
No. I don't know how people ever come to terms with massive revelations like this. But as Debbie said, it was the 80s, this is just how things were, people putting things under the carpet. I don't know, maybe in the 50s.
No, I think that makes sense. It's a very human thing to bury stuff you can't cope with and not talk about it.
But anyway, I loved all of this. Meanwhile, we're back to Kevin and Abby, and they're just kind of opening up to each other and saying, I probably would have taken you back. I loved you. And Abby's like, I loved you too. But not in the same way. And she says, look, she kind of blames it on Seb in a way, doesn't she? Or Seb's death, the fact that she split up with him, and we saw at the beginning of last year, she was really struggling with her mental health, wasn't she? She was seeing ghosts and everything.
Yeah.
She was getting the woozy cam, on a fairly semi-regularly basis here. And she said, maybe it would have never worked because I wasn't ready. I couldn't let what happened with Seb go. Is that what destroyed my marriage? I didn't have room to love you. She says, look, you're an amazing husband. I'm always going to love you. Just not the way I used to. And he says, yeah, you know what? Wallowing's not going to help me either. So, agree.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. Wallowing won't help me. Oh, okay. You could have thought of this before now.
I thought it was enough. In a 22-minute episode, it had to happen sometime. I thought they handled it as best they could. As much as I would have wanted them to. I was not left wanting for after that. So, anyway. Debbie, back to her again. I mean, we've already talked about covering some of this. She says that the longer it went on with me pretending to be your sister, the longer it felt like we were making the right decision. You were a happy little boy, so it seemed. And Carl said, no, I always knew that something wrong. I thought there was something wrong with me. This is when my little heart was starting to break a little bit for Carl, which I never thought would happen. And I think that a lot of it is down to the writing and also Jonathan Howard's performance. I thought he did a really, really good job of it, actually, because he's saying, yeah, Mum was always distant with me. I had a really rotten upbringing, actually. I just wanted my mum to love me. And Debbie at this point is saying that she's wanted to love him probably all this time. She's wanted to tell him. How much has she felt maternal towards him? Or, it's an odd one. Not being parents ourselves, it's difficult to know, but would you lose that sense of parental responsibility and parental love the longer you got used to it? Would you be telling yourself, would your brain be reprogrammed into thinking, he's got a mum, he's got a dad, I'm just his sister? Has she been yearning to, give him a hug in a way that a mum gives her child a hug? Has she wanted to spit on a tissue and wipe his face all these years, And so she tries to comfort him, and he's just like, get away from me, don't touch me, go away. And you said you hated that reaction, yeah. But I think that when you're dealt a bombshell as much as this, you can't process anything.
Just because I hated it doesn't mean I don't think it's realistic or it's the only way. Like, I don't see how this could have gone any differently, but I don't like it.
Yeah. He can't just give her a hug and that's all gone. He needs some time. He calls her a lying, selfish bitch.
The way I feel about this scene, this episode, is the way you feel about Carl in general. Like, I can say to you 1,000 times, he's a really important antagonist in the show. He adds a lot of drama. He is an important character in this storyline and that storyline, and he's da-da-da-da-da. And you're like, yeah, I know, but I hate him. It doesn't make any difference. Like, I don't like this. That's how I feel about this episode.
I think one thing that this week's Corrie has done to me, and I was definitely back to being a Carl hater by the end of Fridays, don't worry. It's added more layers to him, and it's made me appreciate him more as a character. And it's almost in a way, like how we didn't like Theo when he first came into it, and now I really enjoy watching Theo, and I kind of get him a bit as a character, as despicable and disgraceful or whatever as he is. I love watching him now, and I think I'm going to enjoy watching Carl now more.
That's funny, because I feel the opposite. I just don't like wallowing and self-pity in characters on shows. It just I really hate it. I find it really annoying. No, wow. Get on with it.
Put yourself together, Carl.
Just get over it, okay? You've had a minute to think about it. Now, just be normal.
Heartless, Gemma, heartless.
Stiff upper lip.
We never learned that. They don't teach that in German school, do they?
No, they're like, we just cry forever.
Anyway, so what else is going on? Kevin and Abby gone back to number 13, and then Jack comes in, and they just have a lovely make-up time together. Hooray, they're all good.
And they all agree to tidy the oh no, Kevin says,
I'm going to do it myself.
Because Abby's like, I'll help you.
Yeah, and he's like, I've learned to wash my own pants over
You
the
know
last
what?
6 months
It
as well.
kind of annoyed. I know that it's really like having a messy house is a sign of depression, right? And it's.
Have you got something you need to tell me, darling, about the state of your mental health?
What are you saying? What are you saying?
No, our house is lovely.
I don't understand why you're saying. You're trying to besmirch me in
No,
front
I'm
of
not.
these people.
I'm not besmirching you.
Our house is fine.
It is fine. No, it's totally fine.
I literally don't understand what you're saying. Everything is tidy in this
the,
house.
the bit that was the messiest in this house the longest time was actually my desk in the study, wasn't it? A couple of weeks ago, I was like, I got to sort this out. But anyway, carry on.
I've forgotten what my point was now. He's said, a messy place is like the sign of depression. So this is why I thought this was an issue storyline. But now he's like, oh no, it's all right. The depression fairy's buggered off now, so I'm actually back to normal. And then he wants like a round of applause for tidying his house. He's a grown man, just tidy your house. I'll do it by myself. Oh my God. Oh, I better call the king so we can get you an MBE or something. What do you want? Do you want it to announce on the news or something? I'll take out an advert in the Weatherfield Reporter.
Again,
Kevin tidies his own house. Who was doing it before now? It was always you, surely, Kevin. Just get the bin bag out and shut up.
This was symbolic, Gemma. It was like when we had Asher doing the jigsaw to say,
I
I do want to be a paramedic again, and I don't need to be in this hospital anymore. Now Kevin is symbolically tidying up his own life
It's
by
very,
putting it into a bin bag.
It's a very neat way of like
chucking
illustrating
it in Carla Elise's bin.
Visually, how he has overcome his it's such an easy thing. I am just moaning up for nothing, but it just did seem like another example of a guy doing the bare minimum and expecting a round of applause.
So it feels like that corner of the story is hopefully come to an end now, and it's going to be more focused back on Debbie and getting her out of prison. But last scene on Wednesday's episode was just like...
I just want... The only thing I want to add here is that like nothing that was causing Kevin's anguish has been lifted from his shoulders. It doesn't really... It's like, if I just stop being a whiny bitch about it, then everything will be fine and back to normal. But it's like your sister is still going to prison and she still has got dementia, and your best friend was still run over by your brother, and you're still struggling with no partner and having to come to terms with the fact you had cancer, and you're going to have checkups for many years to come where you're going to be anxious about the results. But yeah, you were just being a whiny bitch, just get over it. I don't know what I want out of this story. I just don't know what I want out of this story at all. I just found it really hard to deal with.
Right, so things are heightening between Kyle and Debbie, and this is when he's calling a lying, selfish bitch.
See, this is what
because
I hated.
she didn't let him talk to Elaine in her final days at the hostel. And Debbie's like, yeah, I am a liar. I'm a coward. I'm a horrible, horrible person.
No,
but I can be better.
You're lovely.
But she think that she is. She probably has been telling herself that a little bit over the years, and what we've seen when she's put on her makeup and she's put on a bubbly front, that's just hiding. I don't know, maybe I'm making things up that aren't.
I don't know what to say about this story.
It's all been just made up and retconned, hasn't it? So you can say what you like, but I mean it's all just made up, isn't it?
It is all made up.
All made up.
It's all made up.
It's not real.
We're fictional as well.
Yeah.
This is AI, this podcast.
She says, look, but I'm doing it. I want to put things right by going to prison. I'm saving you from that. And he's like, you're just making yourself feel less guilty here, which is kind of true, I'm going to say. And she says, look, I just don't want you to suffer. Suffer? He says, I've been suffering since birth. So
What are you talking about, Carl?
He's had to have...
Germany's fine.
He's had to have cheese and ham for breakfast growing up.
Oh, I'd love that.
He's been deprived of good bowl of cereal for many years, Gemma.
I want to eat.
And he grew up in the 80s when cereal packets had toys in. Bet you didn't have a toy in your packet of ham, did you, in Germany?
I bet they do. Schweinfleisch present.
Anyway, this is stupid. It's just such idiots, aren't we? We just talk about
just
nonsense.
Imagine, mummy, I love my toy car, but it smells like pigs.
Right, she says, look, she tries to hug him, he pushes her away, and she just cries.
Yeah, why are you being mean to Debbie?
That was a great cry. I love that.
Stop it. Leave
She
her
was
alone.
brilliant. She was brilliant. And then he says, look, you succeeded in one thing though, Debbie. I'm not going to the police now. Good luck in prison. What a git. What a git. But he had reasons for his gittishness. For one day only, not Friday. He had the whole of Thursday to get over it.
Yes.
He had time to chill. But no. Friday, do you want to take back over?
I want to...
What, Carl?
Yeah,
He'll get his...
It's so funny, right? All the way through, he's been like lying, cheating, literally scheming, stealing, like up to no good, possibly killing many people in car accidents because of dodgy MOTs, and selfish and rude and careless with people's emotions. And I've been like, yeah, what a funny imp. How cheeky and fun he is. And then he's like, Debbie, you're selfish and I hate you. I'm like, that's it, irredeemable.
But he has been stealing from Debbie for a good few months.
I know, but that's just funny hijinks. And she's got loads of money. Break her heart.
Made her cry
that's
this
the end.
week.
Yeah. Don't make Debbie cry, because I will never forgive you and I hate the episode and I give it bobbins.
I can't remember who it was, but it may well be someone that's listening to this. But somebody put a tweet out that had the scene of Debbie crying there and going, "I'm sorry," and it was the quote next to the video was, "This is what a seagull says when it's sold your last chip," because she does sound very much like a seagull at one
That's
point.
rude. How dare you make fun of somebody at their lowest emotional point?
It was great. I thought that was a super raw and wonderful performance by Sue Devaney, but I expect nothing less of her.
Friday, Summer is like, let's go knitting at the guillotine. I want to see the sentencing. And Todd's like, no, I don't think it's a good idea. But she's like, I want to see justice. And he eventually convinces her not to be so vindictive, so she agrees not to go. Then, Raphael gives Debbie a hug. Oh.
No parting words, though.
No, he just nod at each other. Gives some last minute instructions to Ryan, plus to remind him that he's the boss. And she gets ready to go to court. And Ronnie is making some points about the fact that Carl's not there. But then they find this envelope that Carl has left for Debbie, and it's got the key to their flat. So she's like, oh no, he's still mad at me. I thought it'd be over it now. So she rushes to find him, finds him in the cafe, tells him that she'd never want to hurt him on purpose. And he's like, no, I don't want to hear any more of this. Shut up. And she says, it would mean the world if you came to court today. And he's like, no, see you later. I'm off. I'm going back to Germany or wherever. Wherever.
But he still doesn't. Like, characters are always threatening to go to the continent. First it's Becky, and now Carl.
At the one time it actually would make sense that he probably would, without too much hassle and paperwork, be able to go and move back to Germany, because assuming he has some kind of status there.
Well, yeah.
So, but he just doesn't go. He's like, no, it's too easy. It seems like a trap.
It depends. Literally the only thing that I can see him keeping him in Weatherfield now is some kind of revenge.
Yeah.
But is he that petty? Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. So, everyone except Carl turns up at the court. And is it a magistrate or a judge?
I've written magistrate here, but I don't think it's a magistrate. No, I don't.
He's got a different. His wig's not grey or white. It was like a kind of very light blonde.
I don't know what it was. I hedge my bets here.
He goes, right, well, on the one hand, you are a really good character.
No, he says she is of good character.
No, he said you're one of my favourite characters.
He says, well, you got dementia and he was your mate, so that probably sucks for you already.
Yeah, you're probably really sad about that, huh?
Yeah, maybe that's a tip.
And fashion sense, good. That's on the good side.
Excellent earrings.
Bad side, though, you killed a man because you was drunk. So, all things put together, I'm going to say 4 to 8, you're out, go to prison for 2 years and 8 months.
And that's number one.
Yep. That's how they do it. You just
Spin the court.
We revolve the court.
Nobody gets that reference.
So she's crying and saying she hasn't got her makeup, which,
She still had the face full of lippy when she arrives in prison, doesn't she?
Well, they don't make you take your makeup off. That would be the last humiliation. They make you take your clothes off, and they probably have a route around to see what you got up there. But
do you think that she's going to be?
Wouldn't dare tell you to take your lipstick off.
We're used to seeing prison stories in Coronation Street, like with Brody last year, where they try and threaten people and say, "Bring me a phone, bring me drugs, smuggle in some ease up your bum to when next time you're coming in." And Debbie's going to be like, "Lipstick, Kevin, just
Yeah. Bring
Shove
me
it up
some
any
lipstick.
orifice you like, as
Stick
long
it up
as
your
I can,
nose.
as long as I can put some on.
Yeah, women don't do that sort of thing, Michael. They're very lovely in prison. All the women are there, just various misunderstandings.
I am kind of,
and men have led them astray.
I'm interested to see how much she lets herself go isn't the right phrase, but you know, how much she wants to keep up appearances when she's in prison, because that's obviously so important to her. I was just thinking of that character in Orange is the New Black again, the one that always had the face full of makeup.
Oh,
you know,
the
New York
Italian,
one.
yeah.
And are we going to see some rare, you know, makeup-less Debbie?
Well, you said to me the other day, like, oh, she hasn't got any makeup on. I'm like, she always has makeup on. Everyone on Coronation Street has makeup on all the time.
No, I know, but...
I think I kind of would feel a bit like I'm watching Nina again if she started, oh, I'm too sad, I'm going to not brush my hair.
I'd kind of like to see, you know, as horrible as it would be, her still trying to make a show of herself and put on makeup, and the other prisoners like, you know, you're nothing special, who do you think you are?
Don't be mean
like
to
Queen
Debbie.
Bee
No, I'm
prison.
not watching it if they're horrible to her. No, I'm not watching it anymore. I don't like this.
Right, come on, what's next? She's not going to be there for long.
Abby comes and tells Christina and Sally the news, and Christina has been very confidently telling them she'll be fine. I love Christina could tell me anything. I love her. I think if there's like a nuclear attack or some kind of invasion, we need what's her the actor
Amy Robbins.
Amy Robbins. I want her to come on the screen. You know, like I don't know if you guys watch Pluribus, but they had some random politician announce on the television what had happened to the main character, and he was like just a random politician that they happened to find who was wearing a suit, so they put him on the news. But they should have Amy Robbins give any bad news to us, because her voice is so soothing. I'd be like, I'm sure it'll be all right in the end, because you know, Amy Robbins is telling me she's got such a nice voice.
I thought that the moment when she finds out that Abby's been sent down, and just like, oh, bless her, or whatever it is, what she said, I don't know, Debbie, sorry, has been sent down, and she's like, oh no. I thought that was a real nice little mini crestfallen.
Yes, she always sounds genuine. I cannot...
Yeah. She's got a good heart in there, and I know it's complete. That's also a retcon because she used to be
she's
totally
such a nice
heartless.
person.
But yeah,
I wish
I would support this turnaround in her.
I wish I could convey the sincerity of my true emotions and beliefs in my voice, but half the time I just sound like I'm taking the bit or being sarcastic.
I know. Like, go on, let me test you out on that, Gemma.
Yeah.
Your mum's been sent to prison.
What are you saying that for?
What? You're not supposed to laugh. What was I supposed to say?
I would say, what did she get caught doing?
Well, don't want any evidence on the tape, Gemma.
Why did you say that to me? No, I mean emotions about other people. You say, Gemma, my dad has been arrested.
My dad's been arrested.
Oh. Oh no.
He'll be alright.
Oh, damn.
You know Amy Robbins.
Damn
Gemma,
it.
That's what can we say.
I wish I'd tell you it's the power of acting.
Yes.
Right.
She doesn't care that Debbie's been sent down.
Well,
Christina does. So
they're
she
all
makes
gutted,
it work.
aren't they? And then Summer gets up and says, well, she deserves it because she's a murderer and she got up and she decided to get drunk and it's all her fault that Billy's dead. See you later, everyone. This is a very difficult situation because you can see everyone's point of view, really. Like, if your dad had been killed by a drunk driver, and then everyone's going, oh, that sucks, she has to go to prison. You're like, 2 years, 8 months. No, she should be there forever.
It's silly because we can look there and go, Summer, what are you doing?
Summer,
Summer, don't be horrible. Don't be the bitch. She didn't do it. It was Carl. But honestly, you're right. Putting yourself in Summer's shoes, she's actually holding it together and being really quite restrained about it.
Yeah.
I mean,
I would be shouting at everyone every possible opportunity like she is.
Yeah, dressed all in black, mourning like Queen Victoria.
Yeah,
but no, she's got a Battenberg jumper on today, hasn't she? She's just trying to put on a brave
Billy would
front.
want me to be happy and eat cake.
Yeah.
So Debbie is shown to her cell in prison, and she makes that crack about room service and sits down on the bed.
This is when it's like, oh, okay.
I really don't see them anymore now.
Okay, they're going to do this with the camera.
There's like a camera moment where she
sits down.
It goes blurry.
Yeah, it was blurry when she goes into the cell, doesn't it? Because it's like she's in the background blurry, and then she walks into focus. And I didn't mind that too much. But it was, when she sits down on the bed. And it was a super performance again. She takes out her false eyelashes.
No, they're not fake. That she just has 2 sets. She's Debbie.
Oh, okay, fine. And then she, is it like a cow with 4 stomachs? Like,
yeah.
Some people, if you're glamorous enough, you got to have multiple eyelashes. And then she starts saying she can't see.
I know.
And I was like, what's going on? Is your sight somehow connected to your
eyelashes?
Your eyelashes.
It's my second set of. They're actually prescription eyelashes.
And this is when the camera starts going stupidly wonky angled, blurry, and she's banging on the door, going, I can't see, and you can hear the cries of the prisoners. It's probably
Filth.
Yeah, still going, kill Becky, we're going to kill you, Becky. And nobody answers, except they do. I was left after that scene feeling, oh, she's going to be ignored, and they're going to find her. I thought she would be
as well, because genuinely, I bet they, you know, for the best will in the world, no matter how much you want to take care of people, prison is full of people who would say, oh, I'm ill when they're not.
It's hard, isn't it? Because in some ways, you've got to tune yourself out, and you've got to say, no, they've done something naughty. They're probably trying to pull the wool over my eyes. I've got to.
Well, you would have.
But then equally, they do have a duty of care, and in fiction, the screws are so often characterised as being these heartless.
Anonymous.
Yeah, and almost kind of malicious types of characters, when actually I'm sure that there are plenty of prison officers that are lovely and do care for the prisoners and want them to be rehabilitated. So luckily she's got one like that on her wing.
When we went to the prison they sometimes film, Corrie Inn, it was a tour by a guy who used to work there as a prison guard, and he was basically like saying, they're here now. It's not my place to judge them for what they've done, because that's all over and done with. They're serving their time, and if they're fair with me, I'm fair with them, you know?
Yeah.
But if I was thinking to myself, they're just going to ignore her, because I bet loads of people go in there and freak out. How do you know that she's actually got something wrong with her, and she's, you probably wouldn't be able to, I don't know about you, but if I get really upset or emotional or stressed about something, sometimes I do get blurry vision and it goes a bit dark. Do you not get that sometimes?
No.
Well, it does. I do. It's like, everything's kind of going a bit dark. It's not because I'm having a stroke. It's because I'm miserable. So anyway, they're much more professional than I would be.
Yeah.
They
call up Ronnie, don't they?
So yeah, Ronnie gets a phone call saying she's had another TIA. And this is when Kevin and Ronnie and Ryan are kind of talking to Carl about what's happened, and he's being all mysterious and passive aggressive, like he's on Facebook going, "Oh, I'm having a bad day, but don't ask me about it." So Kevin says to him, this is about our sister. I want to talk to you, and he's like, "Oh, our sister, is it? Oh, our sister. Oh."
I wonder.
Shut up! Stop being mysterious.
What? How do you think it's going to come out? Because
he's just going to blurt it out.
Do you reckon he's going to be the one that says it?
Yeah. It's really I get it's really difficult, and this is very realistic, obviously, because he can't even talk to her about it. It's so confusing. He's got nobody left to talk to about this. He can't talk to his dad. He can't talk to his mum, he thought was his mum, and he can't talk to Debbie.
And they're the only people that know.
Yeah, he can't talk to Kevin because he probably doesn't. They hate each other, and Kevin's not the most approachable anyway. He's alienated everybody else in his life. He's just alone with this massive revelation.
I mean, he seems like the sort of person, actually, who at this stage would probably go to a bar to go and try and pick someone up, and then end up just telling them or something. I don't know. Is he going to try and hook up with James again?
Yeah.
And James find out? I don't know.
Meanwhile,
this is how Carl reacts to things.
Debbie comes to in the hospital, very confused, crying, realises she's handcuffed and there's a prison guard there. Morning. You're right.
That was sad. It was odd. The nurse says to Debbie after another blurry moment, she's like, "Oh, don't you remember? You're in hospital." And Debbie's like, "No, literally, the last thing I remember was I was in prison." Although I suppose she didn't pass out, did she? She wasn't unconscious in the prison. So she must have... Yeah, we had a bit of a time jump.
Prison guard as well was like, "Oh, no tea for me then." Fine. I'm not here because I want to be either.
Yeah. No, so I thought that was quite an affecting moment as well, looking over and seeing that handcuff there. Somewhat similar to when Becky got handcuffed on Corrie Tail as well.
I wonder if there's any openings for people to sit next to well-behaved prisoners in hospital.
Could you do
I'll
that?
do that job. Yeah, if you give me a big stick, and if they try to escape, I'll hit them with it. But other than that, I'll be fine.
Yeah, great.
Chat, go on my iPad, watch.
Although
watch YouTube.
if we watch what happened last year when who was it? Rob has his prison guard with him when he was getting his kidney out. He ended up having a bit of a mishap, wasn't he? Like when Rob escaped.
Well, I'd hit them with a stick, and if that didn't work, I'd say, look, it's fair cop. Just leave me. I'll give you 5 minutes head start, and then I'll let them know that you're off.
So Carl still knows that Theo is responsible for Billy's death, and that I thought at one point that he might have used that to try and get Debbie off.
Hang on, say it again.
Carl knows that Theo's responsible for Billy's death, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And knowing that, it's like, well, so what? There's not. I don't need to know. I can't gain anything from knowing that now, unless is he going to try and blackmail Theo, get money off Theo?
I know when he said, I'm going to get you out of this. It's like, well, you could have got her out of it by saying it was Theo that killed Billy and not her.
Well, that's what I think he was originally going to do, probably.
But no, I thought he was going to say it was me that was in the car.
Oh yeah, he was, wasn't he?
There's 2 reasons why Debbie didn't do it.
The reason that he's not telling everybody about what Theo has said is because Theo caught him in Sally's alley with those 2 helmet guys, isn't he?
But now who cares? Like, honestly, I genuinely don't know what is supposed to be so damning about him having a meeting. Everyone conducts business in the alleyways in this place.
Anyway, so that was that, and I thought that today's episode, Friday's episode, wasn't meet the highs of Wednesday. You thought it was much better than Wednesday's.
I enjoyed it. Yeah, I did actually enjoy it because all the characters are in it that I liked. Yeah,
on the whole, for this story, I did enjoy watching it, and the fact that it was the main story of the week, even though I wasn't too fussed about the bookending episodes. It was. I don't know what I'm saying. It was still pretty good. Enjoyed watching it, and I'm looking forward to seeing what's happened next. I don't know. We're not going into spoiler territory, obviously, but do you know anything that's going to happen to Debbie in prison next week?
I do know one thing.
Okay. So
I think
I can take from your smile that you know the same as me, and so I'm very much looking forward to that. Right, Todd, whose go is it now? Mine, I suppose. I'll do the Todd story. I mean, what is there to say about this? Basically, this week in the Todd and Theo story, we learn that Theo's off to see his mum again. And Todd's like, well, I'll come along to Doncaster with you. And Theo's like, no, I'll take you next time. It's fine. You stay here.
Do you think the unspoken thing here is that Theo's parents don't know he's with a man?
I didn't actually think of that, but that's a really good point.
There's no way that there's no way that Theo raised himself to be homophobic, completely divorced of his parents' influence.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point, actually. I assume that they also went to church with him, and obviously that doesn't mean that everyone who goes to church is homophobic, etc. But maybe I kind of more took it to mean that I'm going to test you here.
It's a power play.
Yeah,
as well.
It being that was the main driver for him going. I mean, he might not even be going to see his parents, as far as we know. But anyway, Todd's like, well, I've only got that tenner that you left me last week, and Theo says it's fine. I'll be back later today.
No, you don't need to spend £10 in a day.
I can definitely go many days without spending.
Oh, you said this. You said this on Monday, I was like, you have things bought for you. You don't buy anything. Because everything is provided for you.
We've also got our 3 freezers and a cupboard. Yeah.
You live in a hotel. All your meals are provided.
So as the week goes on, obviously not Wednesday because that was just the Debbie episode, Todd finds himself in situations where
I know,
needs to be able to pay for things.
I've never seen somebody have to buy so many things in 1 week.
Yeah.
And as soon as his money disappears, everyone's like, oh, come out for a meal. Would you like a coffee? I need to borrow money off you. You owe me £10.
Yeah, George tries to get Todd to buy his coffees, doesn't he? Because he's lost his wallet. And then, what was that scene with the cognac about? Did that go anywhere? Where George and Christina are...
No, it didn't go anywhere, but it was an interesting scene. George gets this really expensive bottle of cognac from a grateful widow, and he's like, oh, I can't accept this. It's too expensive. And Christina's like, don't insult her by giving it back to her. Let's have a bit.
Yeah.
I want to try some
Maybe
expensive
there was more to
cognac.
that scene, I don't know. But anyway, Todd gets back later and he's got a box of cornflakes and tin of beans or something, or tin of hoops, I don't know what it was. And
he bought some cherries.
and some cherries, why not?
He had £10, he bought some cherries, cornflakes and a tin of beans, and he didn't buy any bread because he thought he had some, but he didn't. And then he still ended up with like £3... No, what did he end up? I can't remember. The maths made no sense, to be honest with you.
But anyway, George comes and invites him to the pub, and Todd says, no, it's fine. Theo's coming back soon. But then Theo texts him and says, I'm coming back tomorrow now.
Oh, poo.
And he didn't. We got on Friday by the end of the week, and he's still away in Doncaster, and Todd's still having to buy things. This time it's for Summer. She ends up offering to go and buy a bit of food, doesn't she?
Well, she's
because
staying there, yeah.
She wants her cereal and doesn't like cornflakes or something, I don't know. So we get to see that scene. I quite enjoyed
he
this.
also phones Theo and says, I haven't got any money.
Oh, yeah, we do.
I don't think does he leave a message or?
I can't remember. I think he probably leaves a message with him, but Theo clearly doesn't care. And I'm sure he'll be able to excuse his way out of it when he does come back. But Todd, we later see him like watching Shona and David have a bit of an argument outside. What do you think the idea of that was? Was it a case of him watching and saying, well, other couples have arguments just like we do, and then he sees them make up and they have a little hug, and what was your take on that?
Well, it's just him saying how a healthy relationship works.
Was it kind of making him think,
I wish I had that?
Or was it making, I kind of took it to mean, I'm not the only one who has fallouts with their partner and then makes up. Maybe what I'm going through is normal, and possibly it was cementing his ideas that he just needs to suck it up and not be so wet about it. I don't know. That's what I thought. But I
don't really know.
He goes to the cafe with Summer and and then when Summer's had a bit of a storm out, like we said earlier, because it's when she has a go at Bernie and whatever, talking about Debbie. Todd bumps into Sarah Louise, who is hassling him for £10 for Harry's sponsored walk, and she needs it by tomorrow. But he's like, leave me alone, Sarah, and kind of snaps at her and walks off, and she's looking worried for him by the end.
Just think about how much money he has saved at this point, though.
Yeah, I know.
A week of the frivolous spending, the way he was going, he's probably saved about £500.
Yeah, but he has. His bank account's probably looking really healthy there.
I am just really shocked that these people have nothing. I mean, they don't really. I don't understand why he had loads of spaghetti. He had stuff in his cupboard, and
that tin of spaghetti that he bought on Monday was still sitting there by Friday's episode. It's like, what have you been eating all week? Has it been nothing? Are you just saving this tin for a special occasion? I don't know. But I still think it's just a little bit heavy-handed. Like I said last week, it's like, now it's time for the financial coercion.
It's because it's been sped run, even though people don't think it is because they feel like it's dragging out. It is a speed running this concept, and so there are so many holes you can pick and go, oh, we could just do this or we could just do that, because at the beginning of this coercion, you would have options. You would have friends that you could say, look, I've lost my blooming card, can you lend me £100? And they'd say, oh, all right then. And then, eventually you would, a few months down the line, people would be saying to you, I've lent, what have you done with the money I gave you before? I can't keep giving you money, That's how it would happen. But because this has happened in the space of a week, you're sitting there going, how is it possible for a man to have gone, we've seen 3 days worth of him not being able to have any money, and we're supposed to think this is the end of the world. It's
a bit like they get the stories when the character becomes a late night delivery driver, and after the first day's shift they're so tired that they crash the car into a lamppost.
That's how it happens in the soap. It's funny.
Yeah,
it's supposed to stand in for a much longer period of time. Where
I just want
this
to come back.
And some people don't genuinely have any stuff. And if you don't, the thing is though, they do cook. If they just lived off takeaways, I could get it, because people that do that don't have loads of food. But we've seen them cooking all the time. They're probably one of the few couples we actually see cooking, because they use that as a way of him controlling Todd. So you would have ingredients in the. I tell you what, they need a bigger fridge. That's all I.
You just sit there and pick at a jar of oregano, can they?
What do you mean? You'd have like
Onions.
parmesan, and onions and pasta and sauces and olive oil and garlic and...
I don't know. I wonder whether he should be maybe going off to the soup kitchen, or is it all, there's a whole thing collapsed since Billy's died?
Yeah.
Like the homeless are all just starving out there on the streets now.
Oh, and it's again, it's really confusing because there was a point at which Todd was ready to leave Theo, and it's not really clear. There was no point at which Theo convinced him. He just kind of like has been carried along with this wave of Theo's insistence that they stay together.
Yeah, this could have been an opportunity for him to say, I'm going now, I'm not going to be there when Theo gets back.
Yeah, because
Billy's literally got an empty flat there. He should
Yes,
let
I
himself
know.
into Billy's flat.
This
I
is
bet
what
he's got
I'm
loads of
saying.
food left in his cupboard.
This is the problem with this story. It's almost exactly like what happened with Sean's homeless story.
You love bringing that up, don't you?
I know, because it's such an easy example for everyone to say. It was literally caused by him not telling anybody, and it was such an easily solvable problem. And it didn't really represent the issue that they were trying to address in any real way, because unfortunately, a lot of people came away from that story going, well, it's your own fault then, because you could just solve the problem if you only did this, that and that. It's the same thing with you shouldn't be able to watch a story like this and go, oh, he should just do this.
He should just eat summer. Like, what's
Just eat the smallest one.
the problem? Exactly.
You see what I mean? It does a disservice to people who can't just do this or
I think it's worrying that she's wearing that jumper, because maybe he will start hallucinating that she is a piece of Battenberg cake.
Start biting out of her
Yeah,
back.
taking a chunk out of her.
Do you
right.
like Battenberg, do you?
No, I don't. I'm not a fan of Battenberg.
I didn't think you would like it.
Why?
It's got marzipan, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, angel cake though.
What's
That's
angel
lovely.
cake?
That's the one that's like the stripy yellow, pink, white one with the nice white icing in between.
Neapolitan cake.
Yeah. The highlight of this story this week, obviously, the appearance of the pup idol dog in that scene in today's episode. Thank you to Rebecca for pointing out that that's who it was to us via Facebook message earlier, because I would have totally blinked and I missed
Where have they
it.
said this information?
Yeah, it was on the scene where Todd is outside the corner shop and he watches David and Shona, but just before then we see a very, very cute little... Was it a little mini husky-ish looking dog, wasn't it?
Damn it,
Walking
what is the
down
name
the
of that
street.
dog? I forgot,
Rover.
is it? No.
Rex. Fido. Yeah, anyway. Just wanted to point out, because anyone else that have missed it, which is very understandable. Gemma, what's been going on in the Platt household this week?
I was just seeing if I can find anything about this pup idol winner. Oh, look how cute. His name is Boris.
Boris?
Oh,
That is cute.
Oh.
Come on, we can't be... You're making dead air, Gemma, looking at cute dog pictures online.
What kind of a dog? No, you've asked me a question. Oh my god. That's not him, is it?
No, look, what are you doing? You're going to get demonetised now, Gemma, because you got...
This morning, look at all these dogs.
Look, we can't... Gemma, we said that this
There
would
he
be a
is.
short street
Right, what
talk.
kind of dog is that? It's a...
I'm going to start talking about the Shona storyline, because you're just obsessing over this little pup now. So, again, not a whole lot this week. We got Jodie still looking fairly sinister, watching over Shona and David. By the way, new ITVX splash picture is Shona and David with Jodie
looking
sinister at them, basically.
Pomeranian.
There we go, Pomeranian.
I knew what kind of dog it was.
So Shona got fixated on finding her dad, right? And she's found an old school friend of his called Bernard, who...
Not Bernard.
Maybe it was, I don't know. And she's going to get in touch with him to try and locate where the dad is. But Jodie has other ideas. I pass back to you.
Jodie phones this guy, Bernard, from school.
Not from school. Come on, Gemma. I'll give you one job.
Well, she's like, hey, look, don't talk to anybody, I guess. We don't know what she says, but she speaks to him first.
Yeah.
And then when they try to ring him, he won't. He just says, I don't know where your dad is. Sorry, I haven't heard of him. And Shona's like, that's weird. They were best friends at school. But that's so weird to me to think that you would know your best friend from school when you're like in your 60s. Most people don't keep in touch with their best friend from primary school.
This is true.
So she's baffled, and I'm baffled by the fact that Jodie tried to serve salad and cottage pie together.
I want to know
as a meal.
I want to know what Jodie said to this guy.
Yeah.
To stop him. Like, has she got something over Bernard? I don't know.
Well, maybe he's been mentioned in some files.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, and a little USB
Who knows?
stick.
On Friday, Jodie's booked a taxi and she just leaves Tim outside waiting 15 minutes. Well, I think it's a great power move. She should do it more often. Waste Tim's time. So she says she's just off out, and Shona's like, I've got another lead about my dad. And David's like, look, we've got other things to worry about. Harper, being the main one, really. I don't understand what she thinks. Why is Shona...
I can't remember why she wants
dad?
To find her dad. I don't really know.
She can have a go at him about being mean to Jodie and make herself feel better about abandoning her, maybe.
Maybe. Well, Jodie is clearly trying to put a kibosh on this because the yarn that she has spun about how her dad treated her...
Is that what you think it is?
Well, I mean, we literally saw her copying what the woman at the domestic abuse...
we don't... Right.
But I still think that probably the dad was a bit of a wrong un, but Jodie doesn't want Shona and David finding out that she has been embellishing the truth, I suppose.
There's only a few... I know, but I thought that... You still think that she was talking about her dad when she copied that domestic abuse survivor story, but I think it's clearly a boyfriend or husband.
I didn't think so. I guess we'll find out because...
No dad would go, you can't leave me. It's not how parents and children talk to each other.
You never
know.
That's
how... Right, well...
That's how they say it on the Paul Robeson estate, Gemma. That's all we need to know.
Well, anyway,
the
question is, what is Jodie hiding about their dad? And the obvious answer is that there's more to the story of their childhood than she has told Shona.
Yeah, which you will soon find out, I'm sure.
Right, so Sarah's like... Todd, David's very... Oh, I don't even care about any of this. Jodie comes back home. She gets a mystery box that she's got. She's obviously gone in the taxi somewhere to get this box, brings it back, opens it up, it's full of trinkets and a USB stick.
Yeah.
But before she can do anything with it, David, Shona and Sarah all come back and she has to hide the box.
Yeah, so mystery box, much like the last episode of Desperate Housewives, except we got to see a bit more what was in it. What could it be on a USB stick?
It's the photo that Maggie saw in Ken's cupboard.
Do you reckon? Do you reckon? I just don't know, like...
Hospital records, like court documents, photographs, videos. What kind of a file could it be?
I wonder.
A short story she wrote once.
I don't know. I can't work it out.
A drawing she did on MS Paint of Peppy the Frog.
There must be... And what were the other trinkets? There was like some jewellery there. It looked like maybe a hip flask, which feels like a daddish thing to have.
It was full of older persons, but like it looked like junky treasures that you would keep from a dead relative.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah.
So, you might think, oh, is their dad dead? And Jodie's hiding it. I don't think that's the case, but you could think that. Because why else would you have this box of trinkets? Who do they belong to? Yeah,
exactly. The fact that she could go and get them.
Yeah.
Did she go and get them from where she's been living? But what caused her to go from that state of affairs to being in the back of Graham's van in Corriedale? I don't know. It's a real mystery. I am properly intrigued, I want to hurry up and find out.
The other question about it is, like, she was clearly being kidnapped by Graham. So who didn't miss her or care that she was being kidnapped? He still hasn't... Where is she living?
Yeah, she must have been a complete lone wolf at the moment, because you're right, nobody's come
and how does a lone wolf then have access to a house that they could just go to get trinkets out of? How does that end up? How does that end up
just
happening?
Got a flat on her own or something.
But that's her flat. Why did she bring the trinkets back here then?
So that they could show us the audience, because there wasn't a set for her flat.
Well, you know what I'm saying though.
Yeah. So
she could have opened them outside.
Why does she need them here?
We could have assumed that she's come out of her house and she's looking.
Yeah. Apart from to show the audience that these trinkets exist, why does she need them here? Are they not safer if they're that secret?
What's her home life like? Who is she living with? How is she living?
So do you think that someone's going to find them? Is like Lily gonna find the memory stick and go, Ooh, wonder what's on this.
Don't.
I bet kids these days don't even know what a USB memory stick is. The technology has moved on so fast, hasn't it? They were like the pinnacle of the greatest technological achievement ever when they came out.
Brilliant.
I can carry more than 3.5 megabytes in on the pocket at once. But
I remember being super obsessed with how big of a USB stick I could get and what I could put on it.
Yeah. Ooh.
And trekking back and forth to university with things on my USB
500
stick.
meg
and
on
this one's corrupted. It's lost all my stuff.
Right, mystery. I hope we find the answer out soon, because it just feels like it's just dragging just a little bit. And it's been a month. It's like a month this week, isn't it, since Corridale? Which isn't really that long. No. But I feel like this part of the story just needs a little bit of a kick up the bum.
And but equally, I'm not trying to guess anything, because I'm not that bothered. I don't feel like anything's going to be that interesting.
I know what you mean.
Because she's a character I don't know, and I don't care what happened to her and Shona before they were in the show.
I've got some interest in knowing more about Shona's past. I really love Shona and I invested her as a character.
I don't think there's anything I could say that would make me like Shona more. It can only make me like her less, which is why I'm not interested.
Yeah, no, I get that. Are we going to learn some unsavoury...
Yeah.
Okay, so the Bernie story this week... After last week's shenanigans, Dev and Bernie seem to be in a much better place relationship-wise on Monday.
Sometimes you just need to take some drugs in a hotel room with a stranger.
Yeah, it's all sorted. And basically, Monday's episode is Bernie and Mel pretending that they don't know each other. Roy tells Bernie later that Alice is Mal's wife, and Mal blames himself for the breakdown of...
Roy blames himself.
Roy blames himself for the breakdown of their marriage. There's just nothing really happens really, but Bernie just ends up going over to Mal in the pub later and saying, "Look,
don't tell anybody.
Stop. Yeah, I can't be your friend.
Dad's getting a weird vibe off of you, and I don't want you to
want to find out what we got up to. Yeah. I really love my husband." And he's like, "It's fine, honestly. I'm fixing up Roy's electrics, and as soon as that's done, I'll be out of your hair, I promise." And the only other time we see him this week was on Friday's episode, where he helps out Nina when she's left alone. No, Nina's gone to the dentist, hasn't she? That's right. Bernie's left in the cafe, and Mel comes down to help out, and all the other ladies kind of fancy Mel.
Yeah.
They're saying, "Where do you get a guy like this? Somebody who knows how to cook egg chips and ham." Well, I mean, he's more skilled than me, I suppose.
Yeah, so. That would turn my head.
That was it for this week's Coronation Street. That's all that happened. We only had an hour and a half. Literally.
It's great.
If the episodes are 22 minutes long, that's literally just over an hour of Coronation Street this week, isn't it? So
I don't mind that at all. That's fine. That was enough.
I was not fully satisfied with that, but the fact that Wednesday's episode was in the middle of it did make up for it somewhat. Monday's just didn't really hit the spot for me. Today's was so, but I really, really, really loved Wednesday's episode an awful lot. So score-wise, I don't know what I'm going to do in the end.
Hang on, let me just say something about Mal.
Oh, go on then.
Last week we were like, oh yeah, Mal's really great. I think he's a nice bloke. He didn't rape Bernie or anything. He was so respectful of her boundaries. And then a lot of people have been like, no, he wasn't actually. He was very problematic.
He was being a little bit leery.
And he was too insistent, and he didn't take no for an answer. And I definitely can see there's a lot of evidence to show that maybe he was not as nice as we thought he was. But this week he has been, pretty laid back. It's just really hard to tell in Corrie what's going on sometimes, because characters can completely change their personalities according to what the storyline is.
Yeah, this could well be everyone thinks he's nice, but underneath he's sinister.
I think
we still don't have complete firm proof that Alice actually exists.
Yeah,
but I am
he
a massive
gullible
her. Fool, as I've said many times before, and so I believe him at the moment. Could have done, couldn't they? I am going to give this week's Coronation Street. Do I mark it down just because there was only 3 episodes of it? I'm going to go... It's hard because I know it wasn't a 4. I don't think it was a 3, but it would have been had Wednesday's episode.
You can't give it a 3 if you loved Wednesdays.
Yeah, exactly. But I just feel I'll give it 3.5 every week. But okay, 3.5 projectile lager cans out of 5 is my score for this week. What about you?
I'm going to give this week 3 boxes of trinkets out of 5.
Bitsy bobses.
Yeah.
Yeah, George's Bitsy Bobsters. Character of the week for me is Deborah Webster. Deborah Webberer is my character of the week this week. She was outstandingly, amazingly brilliant. I love her so much.
Yeah, there's so many other people that were just acting like idiots.
But, props to Abby as well. She was brilliant.
Come on, Kev, why are you being such an idiot?
I enjoyed watching Kevin.
Oh, you're right. I forgot. I shouldn't be an idiot.
Are you Deborahing it this week?
Yeah, I mean...
She's going to overtake Jenny at this rate, isn't she? She really, really is.
I love her so much. But I do give a bonus award to the lovely Christina just for having such a gorgeous voice that's so soothing and wonderful. I love it so much.
Are you trying to get her on the podcast? Are you going to get her
I wouldn't be interviewing her if we did.
No, I mean just new host.
Oh, she can take over from me.
When you go on your summer break.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you, everybody, for listening to Street Talk.
Did you not think she's just got such a lovely, soothing...
It's great.
It's just so nice. I want her to read everything. I'm going to get AI. I'm going to record her on the show, and then I'm going to get her to read all my books.
Yeah. So she's from a rich acting family.
And then she'll probably sue me, won't she?
Yeah, her sister was one of the Sheilas on the Sheila's Wheels adverts, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Talking about good voices.
I actually get my insurance with Sheila's Wheels, so I should have asked Amy for a discount.
Right, that is it for Street Talk this week. We're done.